Welcome to the mini story for Day of the Dead. In the mini story, I will do three things. I will make a statement, for example, I arrived in Guatemala. When you hear a statement, a sentence, you just say ah or oh. You need to say that, show that you understand. This is not a question. A statement is not a question. So when you hear a statement, say ah. For example, I arrived in Guatemala. Ah. Okay. The second thing I will do is ask a question you know the answer to. For example, where do I arrive? I will stop. You say the answer. You must say the answer to every question. I say, I arrived in Guatemala. Where did I arrive? You say Guatemala. Easy. And number three, I might ask a question you don't know the answer to. If you don't know the answer, just guess. Say any answer. But you must answer every question. Use the power button if necessary. Let's begin. Here we go. I arrived in Guatemala on the Day of the Dead, November 1st. Did I arrive in Guatemala? Yes, I arrived in Guatemala. Where did I arrive? Guatemala. Right. I arrived in Guatemala. I arrived in Guatemala on the Day of the Dead, November 1st. Who arrived in Guatemala on the Day of the Dead? Well, me, AG. I arrived in Guatemala on the Day of the Dead, November 1st. Did I arrive in Guatemala on November 3rd? No, I didn't arrive in Guatemala on November 3rd. I arrived in Guatemala on November 1st. What day did I arrive in Guatemala? November 1st. I arrived in Guatemala on November 1st. Where did I arrive on November 1st? Guatemala. I arrived in Guatemala on November 1st. I arrived in Guatemala on the Day of the Dead, November 1st. I was curious about the holiday, so I went to the cemetery to see what was happening. Was I angry about this holiday? No, I wasn't angry about this holiday. Was I sad about this holiday? No, I wasn't sad about this holiday. I was curious about this holiday. Who were curious about the holiday? Well, I was easy. I was curious about the holiday. What was I curious about? The holiday. I was curious about the holiday. Which holiday was I curious about? Which holiday were I curious about? The Day of the Dead. I was curious about the Day of the Dead. Was I curious about the Day of the Dead, or was I curious about Christmas? No, I was curious about the holiday of the dead. Of course, I was curious about the Day of the Dead, so I went to the cemetery to see what was happening. Where did I go? To the cemetery. I went to the cemetery. Did I go to the cemetery, or did I go to the airport? Easy. I went to the cemetery. Who went to the cemetery? Well, me, easy. I went to the cemetery. Where did I go? To the cemetery. Right. I went to the cemetery. When did I go to the cemetery? November 1st. The Day of the Dead. I went to the cemetery on the Day of the Dead, November 1st.